Welcome back to the Barebow Project. This is episode 133 with the Kristina Pruccoli, the latest world record holder for Barebow Senior Women's um, indoor scores, and just overall amazing person. This episode is full of mental game. We talk 2028 Olympics. We talk Dr. Dre, hip hop artist, and all kinds of things. So enjoy this episode. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to the Barebow Project. I am excited for this one because records don't come all the time, number one. Number two, this chick is a pop dart champion. Little inside joke for those of you who know. The skills came out pretty well this December in a specific tournament here in America. Kristina Pruccoli, welcome back to the Barebow Project. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me again. It's
Yeah,
good to see you, Frank.
it's always good to see you. We have such good conversations. What is new in the life of Kristina? What's going on? What's the plan?
Um,
What's happening? What's on the agenda, the schedule? What's going on this winter?
well, this winter, so I just did the North Regional Championship tournament. It's out of 12 states, but unfortunately, it doesn't really have a big turnout because they change its location every year. So North Region supposedly, I can't, I should have probably know this, but I think it goes all the way to, I think it stretches, could go almost all the way to Kansas and then to the East Coast. I'm not exactly sure. And then it's something like Tennessee to Michigan or even,
Okay. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Oh, we just paused.
okay, cool.
You just froze on me
We
for a
back.
second. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All
Am I
right.
here now?
You are here. We were kind of sorry the pardon the interruption. We were just kind of talking about what those states were and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what states, but it's 12 states. I know that it was attended a little bit heavier a couple more years ago when it was in Illinois or Indiana. But I think this is the first time that I know of, because I haven't started archery since 2021, that it was in Michigan. So I capitalized on that and I was like, okay, I'm going to get that as some Lancaster prep. And then we have our state championship in January, which is another tournament I'll do. And then the local club that I started at, Rising Phoenix Archery, they're doing a Barebow Smackdown for the first time ever. So that's going to be in January and that'll be fun. Hopefully we can get a good turnout. We got a
Is-
good crew of Barebows in Michigan. So
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. It's definitely one of the hot seats of Barebow. If you have a flyer or anything for that, let
yeah,
me
yeah,
know.
I'll
I'll
send it
put
to
it in the
you.
podcast,
Sure.
like right here, so that people can
Mm-hmm.
see it and
Yeah,
help
yeah.
support Rising Phoenix. That's a name that has been thrown around Barebow actually before you started. Like that they have an active Joad team, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who's the
They're a
is
great
the coach?
club.
We still have the same coach there?
It's well, Brandon is who owns it.
Okay.
And I think they've kind of shuffling. Frank Chero was a coach there for a long time.
Yeah, I
I
know
don't Frank
Frank.
is no longer coaching there. I don't actually because I haven't gone to the club because I have my own little dungeon layer that I train in.
Nice.
That so I have yeah, so I haven't been to the club in a really, really long time. I mean,
Okay.
I shot just at this tournament with a couple two members of the club that practice there regularly.
Nice.
So yeah,
Very
but
good.
it's a great program there. They really have a good organization for kind of building to where you want to be. You just have to do the work to clarify what you want to do.
Is a private club or is it a shop?
Well, it has a little shop and it has classes. It's a club.
Okay. All right, cool.
So
I
yeah,
like it.
yeah, training, even like a training center, I would call it. Because
Yeah.
they're
That's the
like, you
way,
know, they
yeah.
have, yeah, the way they have their classes laid out for you to develop and learn, it's well done. Brandon did a good job.
Very good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
similar to how I ran my shop when I had it. It was more of a training
Mhm.
center. Small shop
Yeah.
focus was just the range, like 45 yards indoors, I think I had or whatever,
Yeah.
and all that jazz. But I definitely miss those days. Just kids, family just doesn't,
Yeah.
you can't do it all. And I'd rather,
Yeah. Life gets in the way.
indeed, indeed. So, and then probably the obvious tournaments, Lancaster, obviously, coming to
Yeah. I'm
Lancaster.
going to do Lancaster.
Are you going to
And
Vegas?
then I'm not going to go to Vegas. I
Okay.
am going to go to Bulgaria for the European Indoor Championships,
Okay. Barebow?
which Barebow.
Okay.
And then depending, it's not certain yet, but I might go to the Italian Indoor Championships as well.
Outstanding.
It's like the next week after Bulgaria, so I'm already going to be in Europe, so I might just do that because after this, Frank, no more Barebow.
Okay, so I guess that's the segue. So we go, go ahead. You say it. You say it. Go ahead.
I'm still going to pursue LA 2028. I'm going
Awesome.
to, and because 10 months, 4 months of 2024 and 6 months of 2025 or 2023, 2024, it just was not enough time.
No,
It wasn't. And I know, I mean, I knew it, but I didn't want to let any part of myself believe that. I just was like, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. And I learned a lot, and I feel it only is going to prepare me better for 2028 for sure.
that's exciting. There's a lot, there's some excitement around the 2028 Olympics with the TMZ interview of Dr. Dre. And for those of you who are maybe not from our generation and aren't familiar with Dr. Dre, Andre is his first name, is a music producer, formerly rapper artist through Death Row Records, ended up with Snoop Dogg and kind of discovered Snoop Dogg. And if we don't know this, Snoop was like the host, I guess,
Ambassador.
the
He was like
ambassador
the
to the Olympics.
MC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he was incredible.
enter Dr. Dre, who did this TMZ interview. He's like, you know what? Snoop was talking to me. There's videos of them shooting trad and stuff in the back. I mean, it's rough recreational trad. It's not
Yes.
trad like we know, etc.
Yeah, it's
It
tread
doesn't.
light.
Yeah, yeah, right. It doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
have this billionaire music producer whose influence is worldwide, bigger than any Joe Rogan, Cam Haines, bigger than any other
Yeah, it would be
celebrity that could
incredible.
possibly. And, he's talking like, hey, I want to make a run at the 2028 Olympics. Now, us archers, maybe we're a little snobbish with this. We're like, there's no way that this is going to happen. But you don't tell a guy like that you can't do this.
I don't think you
And
tell anyone they can't do that.
I agree. I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying, right? Like, I think if someone
That's
has that as a goal, like
yeah.
if you're a good person and you want to be kind, you smile and
Ab-
support that person.
Absolutely for the
And I think
betterment
it
of
would
the
be, and
sport.
I absolutely, I think it would be incredible if Dr. Dre decided to really step into archery because our sport needs it.
Big
It
time.
would be a huge rush of interest and energy and funds. I mean, like, it would be, being honest, but fully, it would be great for the sport. Hopefully it
Yeah.
doesn't turn into some, I mean, like
It could
Hunger
very
Games
easily
did a
be
big push for the sport. I
yeah.
wasn't even into the sport at that time, but I know it definitely had brought a flush into the sport.
Yeah. It could very easily be a mismanaged situation if the wrong hands were involved. Let's just put it that way. But I will say this. Like I look at, and yes, I'm avid on social media, TikTok, blah blah blah. I remember as 2024 rolled around, Flava Flav from Public Enemy. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
this is my genre of music, and I love like the promotion of women's sports because it's
Yeah,
excelled
Flavor
tremendously,
Flav did
right?
it awesome for women's water polo. I was like, Flavor Flav.
Water polo, women's rugby, and I think he's on to bobsled now for the Winter Olympics.
Oh, I
So
didn't hear
like
that. That's
so like
sweet.
he's promoting and pushing. women's
Yeah.
sports in that way. Now, Dr. Dre's is has this if this becomes the level of excitement that like we have over it, not just because it's Dr. Dre, just the opportunity that could come with it. Man, I don't know if USA Archery and these organizations are even ready for it. Like
I don't think so
security,
for sure.
viewing,
World
fans,
archery, I mean, definitely
paparazzi.
not. No,
I don't think they're
it'd
ready
be
for it.
incredible.
It would need
I'm
like
not ready for it. Step up to the line with Dre right in front of you.
oh, I'd be all
I
about
was like, motherfucker, DRE. I would be like rapping.
it.
I
We
would not, I couldn't
listen.
hold my face.
Yeah, I'm somewhere I'm gonna be dropping some music in this podcast. I don't know, but if you don't know, now you know because this is like for me it's exciting, but I what also needs to happen is like other like the companies, the big companies involved in our sport need to get behind it too. Like they need to understand like if you don't listen to the music or don't understand like the hip hop culture in any way, I'm not saying that we're all knowledgeable about hip hop or anything, but it's my generation. It's my music that I grew up with. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
they don't
yeah,
understand the volume of opportunity from this, they're
for
gonna miss
sure.
they're gonna miss the boat. And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
definitely concerns me. Like, oh man, I hope the right people have that opportunity. But I digress. It's still
It'll play as it'll play, you know.
yeah, it's something to
But
follow.
it's gonna be yeah something to follow. It's gonna be pretty exciting too because you
Yeah.
know there's not gonna be any sort of there's not gonna be any sort of you know alterations to the rules for things just because of him. It's gonna be the
No,
same,
no.
you know.
All I know
So
is I got some insider information, and I'll leave this. We'll kind of end this topic with this. He has bought legit equipment, best of the
sweet.
best, thousands of dollars and stuff. So it is happening. But to
2027 USAT, it's gonna be crazy.
well, it's funny because the friend that I was speaking with about this, the who's kind of like that primary contact. The funny thing about that is like that came up. Like Buckeye Classic is not going to be prepared for Dr. Dre to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
I
a
know
problem.
exactly what you mean.
It's a
Yes, it will
problem.
be a big
Like
yes.
we're
But
talking, yeah,
well, you know what? I'm sure Dre's going to work out his own security and his own things. Like, you know,
yeah,
USA Archery is going to be like, you're a participant. You know what I mean?
yeah. I guess I don't know.
It'll be what it'll be.
It will
It'll
be
definitely be something interesting to watch. That's for sure. Going to be definitely something interesting to watch.
definitely keep your eye on that one, everyone. Make sure you're following Dr. Dre and all the social.
Yeah,
All these archery people all
maybe
of a sudden start following him, and you start
I'd be
tagging
like,
them like.
hey, I'm gonna tag him and be like, you and I are on the impossible run. Let's go.
I like it. I like it. Um, so I guess with the Olympic run this winter is probably like a not a final hurrah by any means. It's just a like you got some dragons that you could potentially slay this winter
Well,
through
yeah,
indoor. And I
getting
hope that's the direction that this goes because that's going to lead into Olympic preparation with a hell of a head of steam. So
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this last weekend was huge. I mean, it was a great kickoff to the season.
mm,
Also, you know, just in the same knife blade on the other edge, it's like, wow, I just dropped down some really great scores and a really great performance and a really great mental management and a really great kind of like tournament etiquette inside my head. And the next day, my day two of that was like, well, first of all, they made an announcement at the tournament before shooting. So nobody knew when I left on Saturday that I did
yeah,
anything. Like nobody knew. Like two
yeah,
or three people knew there. And then when I got there on Sunday, it was like, you know, and then it was like you know, it was a lot of pressure. It
yeah. You
was
get amped.
like
You definitely get amped up. What score did you shoot on day two?
day two is was not good. I shot a 260 and a 265 compared to
That
the
is
first
not
day.
terrible. That I
It's
understand you're
not
saying it's not good, but in reality, that is not terrible by any means. That's actually very good.
No,
Um,
no, no. I'm saying terrible for my
right,
performance,
right, right, right. I get it.
especially looking at the day before scores. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
278 and a 279.
yeah,
That to drop 14 to 18 points in the next day. And it was all pressure. It was all mental.
yeah.
I worked through it. There were ends that, like it was really interesting. I mean, I guess, now that I've become more tenured of a shooter, I really learn, the intricacies of my being, the way I am and the way I
Hmm.
manage the environment I'm in, the mental state I'm in. So I had times where I was like, be 29, 25, 28, 26,
Mm.
29, 24. You know what I mean? So like I was putting the ends together, but there were just some gaps, yeah, on that second day. So,
Yeah, and those 25s, 24s, 26s, those are one arrow.
yeah, it's one arrow. It's
One
one
arrow.
arrow.
One
Yep.
arrow where
Yep.
you lost focus for, and that's really
A
what it
little
comes down to.
focus or yeah, a little focus, out of my rhythm, out of my pace. Um, other things like, someone turning around on the line with an Olympic stab hitting you, just stuff
I've
like
had
that,
that happen. Yeah.
that happens. So,
Yeah.
whatever, you end up
Yeah.
throwing you got something in the blue because of that. And you're like, okay, well, that's
Uh,
that's there.
Yep, that's there. It
That's
is what it
there.
is. Moving on. I
Yep,
I think
exactly.
I think that I wish one of the things that I'm just putting my coach brain on for a second. One of the things that I think shooters, if they would just adopt the mental approach, like my goal is to be fully engaged for 60 arrows today, and just go into the tournament with just that, nothing else. I just
How
need to
about
be
even back
in.
further than that, Frank? Is for me, at least the way I write this, my goal is when I step on that line, I'm there for those three arrows completely.
Yeah, yeah,
And when I come off that line,
same
I
concept.
am
Yeah.
just enjoying myself because I think for a very solid performer, it doesn't matter if the performance is basketball, soccer, I don't care what your performance or at your job, it doesn't have to be a sport. But if you can wrap around your head around the fact that there is just a moment that you need to plug in and that you can vacillate and come off that moment, enjoy, do whatever you need to do, score, do
Hmm.
whatever. But when you come to that line or you come to that place of performance, whatever that is, you fully commit into that moment. It's,
Yeah, it's the same
it's
idea.
helpful because if you're
Yep.
saying like 60 arrows, well, that's a lot. Well, no, just take those
It
three.
it
Just
it
step up
it
there and do
it
those three.
is. It is, but there I guess my justification for just saying the 60 arrows piece is because you really only get one arrow at a time. Like you can
Yes.
concentrate on those three arrows, but you can't, like, as soon as you shoot that first of those three and that end, you got to forget about it and move on to the next one. And that's why I was like,
Agreed.
the person who comes out on top time and time again is the one who is engaged for the most amount of those 60 arrows. And
Yeah.
having the ability to compartmentalize each arrow, that arrow was good, great, I don't care. I need to make this one better. That arrow was
Yeah.
okay, great, I need to make this one better. And being able to, like you said, just, it's those three arrows and then forget about it. Enjoy
Yeah.
your time and space in between the people around you, the
Mm-hmm.
tournament itself. And then the next time you step on the line, you flip the switch. It's what I used to say to Maggie. Maggie, you got to flip the switch. Flip the
Yeah.
switch. It's game time. You know.
Yeah.
So you seem to have really, in these last like 2 years, 3 years, like you kind of like 2 or 3 years ago, you were touching on it. Now you seem to have really brought it all together. What do you attribute that to? Is it just volume? Is it experience? A combination of everything? What brought it all together for you to finally hit 557, besting our world record by one? Previously to our good friend Cinzia Nasclia, she had a 556. I'm looking at it right here on my second screen, February 22. Lena before that, 552. Fawn before that in 2022, 550. So we've seen a 7 point increase in our world record since 2022. What what's the glue that brought all that together?
Well, I mean, I think it is a myriad of things, to be honest with you, Frank, because yes, experience. right? That has a lot to do with it. But I think I really do feel the 2023 year that I spent driving towards the Olympics, um,
It changed your mindset a
and
little bit?
being yes, it definitely did change my mindset a little bit. And I also feel like when I came back to Barebow this fall, like October-ish, November, I was like, I just feel so good to be in charge of my shot process
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Um, I think I've said this before, but it's almost like an inebriated drunk feeling when I get into that flow. Like I come to the line and I'm just like I have a process, I have a rhythm. And when I can step into it like fully, it's incredible. It feels like, you know.
Feels like you
But
can't
and so
miss.
it feels like I can't miss. It does. It does. And I mean, sounds cheeky, but it's true. But I think a lot of 2023 running for the Olympics really helped shift my mental game and how I'm approaching the sport in general. You learn a lot of things about politics and other
Yeah.
things and teams and learn a lot about yourself when you're in situations where you're kind of like the outsider. Because I was from a barebow background into the Olympic recurve without the tenure that most of these other women or shooters have. Um, and so, all those weird narratives, they plant lots of random seeds of doubt that you don't realize that you're like cultivating back in yourself. So it
Facts.
felt good it felt good to kind of reframe and reroute myself into my practice this fall. And so that's what I think has really shifted.
What you talked about, like the confidence and the comfort that you have in your shot process. And I'm not going to ask you what your shot process is because I don't know if it's really changed, but what I will say is like what are the key components? I remember you were shooting, was it European indoors, and you were talking sweep the leg, sweep the leg. We talked about that last time
Yep.
you were on. Are you still
Yep.
doing that type of mantra when you're on the shooting line? Or
It's not the sweep the leg. The
okay.
mantra evolves.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg because, I think that it's important that whatever your mantra or whatever your mental space that you hold is really present to what you are in right now.
Yeah,
Like I can't go back to sweep the leg energy. Do you
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sure, I could draw it up, but it's not the same because it doesn't have the same resonance that it had before, you
sure.
know? Um, so I mean, I'm not going to share my mantra now.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm
But
not
you
going to
have
share the
one.
actual.
But you
Yes, I
have
have
one.
one. So
That's good.
I have one. I have one. Um, and I think it's just staying committed to the process for those three arrows. I really feel like, and it's really just process orientated. It's just process to me. I'm like, just do your process because you know what like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. This is my process. My process is successful. I know how to execute. I am comfortable and I enjoy executing strong shots. I know how to shoot well. You know what I mean? Like some of
Yeah.
those,
Positive
like those,
affirmations.
yeah, those are all like in my journal type of things. Like I'll read my previous journal entry before I start training. I'll write a journal entry before I start training, and then I'll train, and then I'll write a journal entry after my training. So there's
Awesome.
3 time, yeah. And
Uh,
I think that's huge.
well, that's a commitment in and of itself. I mean, you're you're writing down prior, like what your goals are, the things you want to accomplish in that practice, whatever it is. And then you're reaffirming what you did
Hmm.
and then how you feel about it. And then that just leads to that next session. Whereas a lot of people they go to the range, they put their bow together, they kind of shoot with no goals or just shooting arrows, which are kind of purposeless. Is that a word? I think it's going to be now. Um,
Yeah.
and then they're putting their bow away and then they're going home and they're expecting to get better that way. And, you're shooting with a purpose every single time and you're documenting it along the way. So it's sticking. The things you
Yeah.
learned in that session or whatever, it's sticking up here just by writing it. Um, I do have
Frank,
a, go
have you
ahead.
ever read the book The Confident Mind?
I have not. No, I'll have to look that
Dr.
up.
Nate Zinsser. It is, I would call it it is a resource, a great resource.
Hmm.
And
Confident
it is
mind.
yeah, The
I'll
Confident
look that
Mind,
up.
Dr. Nate Zinsser. I think it's Zinsser. Um, Excellent book. It's about performance and looking
The
at your
confident mind.
mind.
Dr.
Yep,
Zinzer, there it is.
yep. It's incredible. I think every archer should read. I think anybody in performance, even for a job, should read this book. Um, and he goes through some like really applicable type of practices. Like there's this one called ESP, and it's effort, success, and progress. And just looking at organizing, I mean, say within archery, organizing what your efforts are, where the successes are, where's the progress that you're making, and kind of holding those in the more of the foreground. Like that's like in the first paragraph and a half of my journaling is a little bit of ESP work.
Very good.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
huge.
really yeah, it is. It's great. There's a workbook that goes along with it too. I feel like I can't tell you how many people I've told about this book. I'm like, come on, Dr. Date Zinzer.
I am
I'm
not
promoting
a
your book
huge
everywhere.
reader. I'm not a huge reader.
Get the audio. Get
I
the
am an
audio.
Audible fan though. And so I will I have it pulled up here on my phone when we're done. I am going to buy that book. I have credits sitting there just waiting to be burning a hole in my Audible wallet. So
That is a big
yeah,
tool in my toolbox for sure. I would say that
interesting.
that's one of that book and reading that and referencing it is a big tool or it is right now.
I like
Like
it.
I said,
No,
it's
that's good. Yeah, it's
like
gonna
whatever it
change.
is like that's I think that's something that, like, oh, I used to or when I last year or last winter I shot this or this and this and that. And like, well, you got to be present to what you are now, who you are now, what you got with you. That's why it's so important that I don't, the mantra's got to shift, I feel. Like you can't just keep riding the same horse. Like
I
you gotta resonate with the present.
You give off an incredible amount of mental clarity. And what I mean by that is that seems to be like one of the things that has really kind of promoted this level of success for you because, you know, the when the first Olympic run came and while you were working your tail off, traveling all over too, you were looked like you it seemed like you were kind of trying to find that in your journey. Now it
Yeah.
seems like you have it. Just the way that you present yourself, the confidence with which you speak, and we can see the wheels turn while you're talking. It feels like in this conversation, that's playing a role. Would you say
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely have come to embody more of the confidence and certainty that I have these abilities and I have these skills and I can perform.
that takes an incredible amount of dedication to put in all of the work and the time, but you've done it to that helps develop that clarity of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
do you do you feel like going into the 2028 run for the Olympics, do you feel like this switching back and forth from Olympic recurve back to barebow, now back to Olympic recurve, have you had any challenges with those changes? W- With like, I mean, let's the clicker, no clicker, trigger, no trigger. I don't know what your was involved in your thought process or not. Is there any barriers there, or is it actually helping you?
Well, I originally say last year, if you would have asked me that question, I would say, yeah, there's a lot of different shifts that I'm just trying to make happen to be a little bit more seamless between the two. And I couldn't pull together last year, in all honesty. And this year, I've shifted how I'm training. I just recently, so I trained 6 days a week. And so I was doing 4 days Olympic, 2 days barebow. And then when I knew I was going to go to the European indoor next year, I was like, okay, I'm going to do now 4 days barebow, 2 days Olympic. And so, and my one day off. So I organized myself. So I trained barebow is Wednesday through Saturday, and then Sunday and Monday is Olympic recurve, and then Tuesday is my full day off, and then I come back to barebow again. Um, I didn't train like that before. I was kind of doing like an hour and a half chunk of one of
Mm.
barebow, and then I would go eat, do other things, and then come back and do a
Yeah,
chunk.
that's not,
And
yeah,
it
that's
it
tough.
just it just yeah, it just wasn't or it just wasn't it didn't work out. So now I found a rhythm that is better, and I'm finding that my process that I have with barebow with how I can just get into the process of the shot process and I'm like there, I'm starting to feel that within the Olympic, and it's coming to it's coming to be effortless, which is like what I want. I want effortlessness, I
Yeah.
want ease and just it's just grace, just effortless and graceful. And it's starting to come because I feel like I have that within my barebow process.
Yeah.
So it's starting to come with the Olympic, and that's exciting because I'm like we're in winter right now in Michigan, so I can't be at 70 meters unless I drive up to Canada for their indoor range, which I love. The Peel Archery Club that's up there. 70 meters indoors is just so
Awesome.
awesome.
Yes,
It's
that's
just
amazing.
you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
gosh, this is so great. So I think I might take a trip up there in January just to get some 70-meter time in on under my Olympic. Or maybe I'll do it in March when I get back from Bulgaria. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I found that I'm getting better at becoming a better shooter no matter what the bow's in my hand.
It's awesome. I,
No matter the bow, like
yeah.
trying to,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think last year mentally I held like, oh, the Olympics so different. There's the clicker, there's this, the balance of the weight, there's that. I'm like, I'm done with thinking about the differences. I'm done feeling the differences. I'm just gonna be the shooter that makes the shot. And I know my process. So I just like taking it off the equipment and putting it to me. And I think that's something different that I didn't do last year.
Are you shooting with bare bows or any triggers, or are you're just no nothing?
No,
Just you're just process
nothing.
oriented.
Yep,
So
all process orientated.
having having such a solidified barebow process is going the comparison because there's a lot of people that will listen to this podcast that never shot Olympic in their life and
Hmm.
don't understand the concept of expanding through the clicker and letting the string pull through your fingers. One of the hardest things, and I've had this discussion actually with former Olympic gold medalist, multiple actually, but just as of recent, and we talked about like the Kim Woo Jin, the Brady Ellisons. Like if you watch the slow motion videos, you watch their hand doesn't move on the Olympic shot, the string pulls through the fingers and then the natural follow through happens and it's really smooth and methodical and almost
It's
poetic
effortless.
and
Yes,
when you can and it's so much easier to do with Olympic recurve compared to barebow because of the clicker in my opinion let me
sure. Okay,
you
I
know
think I know what you mean.
yeah it's just like it there's less there is less mental control. Like you can let go of the control a little bit with a clicker because all you have to do is continue to hold and expand through it until it goes. It's
Hmm.
training the release, whatever. So there's that can have a positive carryover to barebow. That one aspect.
Sure. Hmm.
If you have a super confident and um, you know, really well-trained shot process in barebow like you have. I think where some people get gigged up a little bit is they're not there yet. They don't have that control. And then they use a
Hmm.
clicker to try to compensate the control. And then because you didn't lay the groundwork prior, the clickers actually could have a reverse effect.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
this is us having small talk and discussing how it can be positive, how it can't, and where you're at in the process. And I think it's wonderful to hear that you are able to, first of all, you changed your training, so that makes a ton of sense to do that
Yes.
for the 4 days and then, do Olympic for the two, because it allows you to get back into that groove day after day after day after day,
Yeah.
break or whatever, then into Olympic.
Yeah.
Like, but I was curious of how you were managing that relationship of shooting one versus the other and where the pros and cons might be, or if it's having positive or negative effects. And really seems like it doesn't matter for you because you're just in
It's
that.
it's yes, that's what I'm, at least that's where I'm trying to kind of hold my attention now, is that it doesn't matter the equipment that's in my hands. It's do the process.
I love it.
Do the process. Just do the process.
Yeah, I love it. Um,
Yeah.
oh, it's so good. Such good stuff. I mean, it's the book, the process, the training process, the like just it's all such good stuff. I guess as we kind of, we touched upon the score. How did this how did this confidence play out at, and it's you shoot 10 ends. Okay, great first 10 ends,
Yeah.
right? You get halfway through the next 10, you're 15 ends in.
Mhm.
Where was your brain? Because we all do this. The world record's different than a PR, but
Sure, for sure.
it still has the same emotional effect. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
Maybe a little bit more on the world record side, but I wouldn't know. Um, but let's talk about like where was your brain those last five ends? Were you looking at your score,
Well,
ignoring it?
I'm gonna I'm
Okay,
I'm gonna back it up just a little bit
okay,
because
okay.
so the first game, 278,
Mm,
is my personal best that I've ever shot in a tournament. I did it last year. So I was like super happy that I was like, okay. And that first game I shot 230s. I was feeling really strong. And then I was like, typically my second game is stronger than my first. Like in historically in all my shooting, my second game is usually stronger than my first. I don't know if it's just getting more comfortable in the space and just, getting into that flow, that vibe. But typically my second game is better. And so I was like, at the half, I'm like eating because I they call me cold cuts. So I'm like eating my salami and cheese. I'm like snacking on cold cuts. Um, and I was like 278. I was like, that's great. I was like, if I do that again, I thought it in that moment. If I do that
oh,
again,
that's a
that's
dangerous. Yeah, that's a
yeah, it was
dangerous thought,
terrible.
though. That is a dangerous
It was
thought.
it is a dangerous thought. I was like, if I do that again, that's matching the world record. And I was like, well, and I didn't even think about the world. I just thought about it like matching it, but I was like, okay, I'm going to be happy just to break. I'm like, I know I'm going to break 550. And all I thought about was just breaking what I shot last year. That's all I was thinking.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was like, I was like 278. I'm on a good space to break that 550. And that's all I was thinking about. And I thought I could maybe match the world record is all I kind of thought in my head.
Okay.
But then
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, whatever. I was like, whatever, let me just start. Um, and it was coming out good in the first. The last, I'm not okay, the last five, those were a struggle. Those were a struggle. This typically the sixth end for me, six and seven. Um, I start to feel a lot of pressure knowing that the
Same.
10th end is coming and just being I would rather be the person with the digital score using the like phone or tablet rather than writing. Because I don't really want to see the numbers because I can do
Same.
backwards math. I'm
Yeah.
like I can do math backwards. I don't need to. So I just was like, just stay steady. And I started feeling, the stress of it and my shooting, like my 28s went down to 27s. And I was like, okay, I can't let this happen. I gotta just drill in. And another archer who shoots at Rising Phoenix, his name's Michael Weaver. He's the one who won at Buckeye, who's only been shooting like for a short amount of time. and he was shooting by me, and he was like, "Hey, don't get in your own way." And that's all he said to me. And I was like, I really needed to hear that. And I got up there, I threw down the 29, and I was like, okay, we're back on track. I was like, I'm back for this. I'm back on track. And then the end after that was 28, and I was like, okay. And for some reason in my head, I thought I needed a 30 at that last end.
Good.
So
That's a good problem. That's a good
that was
problem, though.
I was like, how am I gonna make? I'm like, well, I made 230s happen just in the last game. I'm like, I can make a 30 happen. I didn't look at the math. I already knew I had the 550, and I didn't look at the math, and I was like, I'm gonna break this world record today. I'm like, I didn't go up there and I'm gonna throw down a 30. And from back, 18 meters, I was like, that's a 30. I was like, I did it, I was so excited. And when I got there and I saw it was a 29, and for some reason, I didn't do the math, like fully. And I thought the 29 just meant I got a 556 too. And then after I saw the tablet 557, I was like, oh, but then I just quieted down.
So
And
then
I was just like,
all the emotions wanted to come out right in that moment, and you were like, "Oh,
yes,
I gotta keep it calm for a second. We gotta finish this out."
yeah. Yeah, I was like, I
That's
gotta sign
great.
papers. I'm like, I just gotta, but I'm gonna say from end 15 to 20, I was dripping sweat. Like we're talking sweat that just goes past the sports bra straight down to the ribs, to the hips. I mean, like I was like, like no joke, Frank. I was
Oh,
like,
it's funny. I
thank goodness I had a black sweater on, because I mean, like, like everyone always makes fun of my pits when I sweat, because I'm like, I sweat. That's natural. Um, so I was soaked. I was soaked.
I don't remember.
Those last three ends were crazy.
So there's a relatable story, and it's an unknown story. The year before they adopted the world records for Barebow,
Mm-hmm.
Grayson was shooting a lot.
Mm.
Grayson's one of the calmest guys on the shooting line that you'll ever see. Why did that not come up? This is not what I wanted. You
Grayson's incredible. I
are
shot with
the
him in Kentucky when it was
national
my first year of shooting. And I was at practice next to him, and we walked down to pull arrows, and I like stepped and looked behind the bale, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm looking for the vacuum that's behind the center of your fucking target, dude." Because like he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm looking for the vacuum that's pulling all your arrows to the center of the target," because that was the first time I saw some shooting like that.
Yeah,
Out
so
of Barebow. That was and I was like, this cat has got it. Yeah,
it's
he's a very
incredible.
strong shooter.
It's
He's got a
incredible.
great disposition. He's a
Yep.
kind human. Yeah.
So the story goes, and I can't find it at the moment. I'm pretty sure Grayson still has our national record. I'm 99.9% sure. I just can't find it at the moment. My computer's not working with me. He was shooting in Virginia, indoor nationals. John and I shot in Lancaster that year, and it was literally like 3 or 4 months later or something when they adopted the world record thing. Because I'm pretty sure USA has the highest national record in the world, and
Mm,
and it's Grayson. I'm or did I could be wrong. I don't know.
sure.
I gotta look it up because it shows the world record for barebow men at 18 meters is
Zach, he just
Zach
set
at
that up. Yeah.
573. I'm pretty sure. I feel like
Which
Grayson had
is
a. I
monstrous.
think
That is
Grayson had a
monstrous.
576.
Oh, really?
I think I'm
Damn.
not, and I could be remembering it wrong, or it was the 573. I just can't. For whatever reason, USA Archery Records
It's a
is not
monster
coming up. But
score.
it doesn't matter. It was higher than the world record for the longest time, if it's not still. But I remember talking to him about like he shot the first half and was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And then you know how we have to change our targets.
Yes.
He was like there like the judge was like, "Yeah, change it. Yeah, yeah, I'll change my target." Takes the new target, puts it over the old target.
Oh,
And did that just I mean, it doesn't
Thanks for listening. Hey, this teaser version is available to everybody and anybody right here on YouTube. But if you want the full audio version to listen to the rest of this episode, just go to the website, the www.thebarebow.project.com. Hey, you know, if you like the antics and the video and all the things and the funnies and like to see it all kind of face to face, consider becoming a subscriber. It's available through our Fourth Wall subscribers account right there on our website. It's right there. You see it on the main page. Maybe consider supporting the podcast, because that's what that is. If you enjoy this content, if you enjoy this information, if you have a request for information, our subscribers have input, you know, what our shows cover. You know, consider becoming a subscriber. It really helps. This stuff's not free, and we appreciate you. Since there's no advertisers anymore, there's no sponsors, it's just your support. Thank you.